Hi, I'm John DeVore. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to Brooklyn. I'm back. More traveling. I was in LA this time for two events, actually. At Common Wave, my dealer there in LA. Technically, I guess there were two O-reference events. One was a relatively smaller one on day one of the World Series in LA. Go Brooklyn Dodgers. Yeah, see, it's funny, Brooklynites have a weird relationship with the Dodgers, but I won't get into that today. Despite coinciding with game one of the World Series, it was a great turnout, meet and greet for LA, some very good pizza. Then on Sunday we did another event with a big mob. I mean, it had to have been 60, maybe more than 60 people. It was the LA Orange County Audiophile Society, which is apparently the largest audiophile society that the world has ever known. And that went off beautifully as well. Everyone was great, very respectful. They all seemed to enjoy it. You know, just fielding questions and doing these sort of 8 at a time, getting people into the new. So Wesley, Common Wave has a new room in the back. Most of Common Wave is a big main area with what Wesley calls sort of vignettes. So you have a little area of the big room that has a beautiful system set up in it, and then you have multiple areas in the big space. And he really can get them dialed in. They do sound great. But he finally has a real isolated room around back, and that's where the O-reference system is. And that he's got two columns of magnificent gear in there. He's got one that's all Nagra HD, and then on the other side, which is what we were using for the event, we had all airtight 211 monoblocks driving the speakers. Just a super cool airtight line stage, phono section, and a reed turntable. And digital streaming was an esoteric DAC. And another co-sponsor of the event was Kimber Cable, and we had I know it was a pure silver speaker wire. We tried the pure silver versus the copper silver hybrid, and I thought that the pure silver was better. It was better integrated, smoother, more effortless sounding on top. Just a heavenly system. Absolutely, really just a killer system. And I just also have to send props out to Wesley Katzier. He's the proprietor of Common Wave. Him and his crew, they do a magnificent job. They have tons of events, and I know from experience that it's easy to get burned out on events. A lot of dealers have been burned out even without doing events. He makes sure that every event runs perfectly, and he makes sure and succeeds as far as I've seen, and I've now been there for multiple events. Everyone who attends one of his events feels absolutely taken care of. They have a great time. They're just beautifully run events. The store is magnificent, really nice, and yeah, it's a treat. It's a treat to go out and do dealer events generally. You know, I did the dealer event 2 weeks before, a week and a half before, in Berlin, and that also went off beautifully. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. This was an O-Ref event. It was a joy to hear an O-Ref system really dialed in on a beautiful beautiful electronics in a beautiful room. So props, absolutely magnificent. I had a great time. I lived in LA briefly 30-something years ago. It was nice, you know. I got together with an old friend of mine who I knew from back in the day when I lived there. Saw the Peterson Automotive Museum, did some walking around the old hood. It was very cool, very nice. But then coming back home, it feels so good. I know I'm a Brooklyn boy. I'm looking out the window of that plane, an evening landing, looking at the beautiful skyline of Manhattan, just easing on by. That feeling that, the feeling that I'm home. Then literally, so I got home Monday night. Tuesday morning, I'm on my walking commute to work, my 3-mile walk in the morning. Another reason I love New York City. And I got a little bit of a late start. I wanted to sleep in a little bit, make sure I wasn't frazzled, too frazzled at least. Walking on one of my many routes, and I recognize this guy in the distance. He's waiting to cross a street. It's one of my favorite musicians in the world right now. This guy, Shahzad Ismaily, who I've seen live a couple of times, and I have a few of his records. And he's always fascinated me. His presence on stage. I mean, I love his playing, and I love his taste. But also his presence on stage is absolutely otherworldly, and he has this wonderful centeredness and this warmth that is projected from the stage when he's performing, and to a certain extent when he's being recorded. So I have a VJ Air record trio that he was on recently, and I also have a solo record of his of Ismaily's, where he does his sort of one side is his song and the other side is another guy's song, and it's absolutely just incredible and evocative and calming and opening all at the same time. But I never met him, and I met him, and I went up and I just said, I'm a huge fan of what you do. And he was so warm and generous and just gentle and wonderful, and he shook my hand and put his hand on my shoulder, and we exchanged cell phone numbers, and he was very personal and very direct, very open. We promised, I promised to come and check out his recording studio, which was right in the neighborhood, and he promised to come by here and check out the speakers. And as we were parting ways, he gave me a big hug, and it was a wonderful, wonderful New York moment. Just, I mean, I didn't touch the ground on the rest of my walk to work. Then that night I had, it was a surprise dinner, birthday party thing for my sister, just a few people. We had a magnificent brick oven pizza in Brooklyn. The next day we did that video shoot with about Rachmaninoff here in the office. And then that evening I went off, I had tickets to Carnegie. It was the first show that I've been able to attend. There was another show that my wife and a friend of hers went to because I was in Europe. But this was the first one. It was this beautiful chiaroscuro quartet performance at the Weil Recital Hall in Carnegie. That was wonderful. It was Mozart and Schubert. The big ass Schubert with his final string quartet. They absolutely did a beautiful job on it. Incredible sensitivity. So I absolutely felt 100% welcomed back here to New York City. So thank you to New York for being what you are. She's a magnificent thing, New York City, and I'm glad I'm a little piece of her. Absolutely glad. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but yeah, New York she's my town. So I leave you. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite love songs to New York City. This is a whole album of love songs to New York City from pretty much my two favorite, or certainly two of my favorite, two of the greatest current British artists, PJ Harvey and Thom Yorke. And I will see you at the next video. Thanks.
sit in silence. You look me in the eye directly. You met me, I think it's Wednesday, the evening, the mess we're in, and the city sunset over me. The city sunset over me. Night and day, I dream of making love to you now, baby. Love making on screen, impossible dream. And I have seen the sunrise over the river, the freeway, reminding of this mess we're in, and the city sunset over me. The city sunset over me.
I don't think we will meet again.
I don't think we will
And we must leave now, before the sun rises over the skyscrapers and the city landscape comes into being. Sweat on my skin. Oh,
this mess we're in.